welcome to this edition of FPD Roll Call. I'm Officer Craig Dehart, and in this edition we will be speaking about fireworks and fireworks safety, and later on in the show I'll be talking about the April crime statistics. With me now is Chief Lowry. Chief, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, so fireworks in Florissant, St. Louis County as a whole, we've got issues with that. We did last year. Can you tell us a little bit about what the problem is?
In the city of Florissant and in St. Louis County, it's illegal to sell, possess, and discharge fireworks. And we had an increased amount of calls last year. People were very upset about the amount of fireworks being shot off in the city limits of Florissant. Of course, what I'm referring to is the illegal fireworks. From June the 1st to July 15th, we had over 229 calls for service for people discharging fireworks. My office was really overwhelmed with calls from people complaining about the fact that people are shooting fireworks off during this time period. So this year we are going to have a zero tolerance with the illegal discharge of fireworks, and that campaign, quite honestly, starts today, and we will continue to have that. We're going to start an informational campaign, which includes having these signs. People start seeing these signs posted throughout the city, at the city buildings, different locations, making sure people understand that it's illegal, and people must understand that with the zero tolerance policy, this is the warning that we're giving people. We're going to have it on our display boards at different locations throughout the city. So the officers are going to be responding there. We're going to take it in that people have already been warned. I think in the past, the officer would go there, they'd warn the people and let them know about the ordinance, and then come back later and issue a summons. This time, on our first call, we'll be issuing summonses to those who are violating the ordinance.
Right. I think some of the problems that we had were when the officers responded, they said, well, we didn't know it was illegal.
Correct.
So this is really a good way for us to, like you said, give them that warning up front and let everybody know this is not tolerated in Florissant or St. Louis County as a whole.
That is correct.
Okay, so if someone sees a violation, people shooting off fireworks, what would be the procedure for that?
All we ask them to do is call the Florissant Police Department, not the 911, but the 831-7000. Notify the dispatcher that there's fireworks going off in their neighborhood, or their neighbors are shooting them off, or whatever the case may be. If they wish to be contacted, we'll certainly have an officer contact them. If they wish to remain anonymous, that's fine too. We respond to anonymous calls just like we call with reporting parties. So we're just asking people to call, let us know where they're going off, and the police officers will handle it from there.
Okay. And then another question that we usually get is, what do we do with the fireworks if we seize them as evidence?
Sure. What we'll do is that if an officer issues a summons, he brings the fireworks to the Florissant Police Department. He packages any other piece of evidence. They're put in our evidence locker, and all the fireworks will be disposed of after the court case in a professional manner.
Right. Okay. And so I guess the big thing is we have our own fireworks display here in Florissant. So there's really no reason for anybody to have their own, because we offer a city one.
Yeah. Well, on July the 4th, we have a very nice event at the James J. Egan Center. I believe it starts at 6 o'clock with a band. Plays until about 9:15, 9:30, depending on when it's dark, and then they'll shoot off probably 45 minutes to an hour worth of fireworks. Very professional, nice setting, a great family event, and so I think that's what I would like to encourage people to attend that event.
Right.
It's a great opportunity to meet your neighbors and to socialize, and quite honestly, get to know other people. Plus, you're going to have entertainment, and of course, the fireworks will be shot off, like I said, about 9:15, 9:30, just depending on the darkness.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. Later on in the show, we're going to have Mark Flauter from the fire department, the chief medical officer, come in and talk to us about the fire and medical aspect of fireworks and how they're dangerous as well.
Absolutely. I've talked with the chief, and we both have similar concerns, and I think that Mark will do a great job explaining from their aspect of why we're concerned about the fires and injuries that could be caused by the fireworks.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on the show. And again, I think it's worth re-mentioning that the fireworks are illegal in Florissant, St. Louis County as a whole. We will be having a zero tolerance approach to this this year, and hopefully we can save someone from any injuries or property damage that might be caused by the fireworks. Don't go away. We'll be back after this brief message.
If you smoke, this message can save you some money, cash money. If you smoke and you can add and subtract, then listen up. The average smoker spends about $1,500 a year on cigarettes. Do the math. How much money are you burning? Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW and save some of your hard-earned cash. Do the math and call the Missouri Tobacco Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Do the math. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. You can do this.
Welcome back to the show. With me now is Chief Medical Officer Mark Flauter from the Florissant Valley Fire Protection District to talk about the fire and medical aspect of the issue with the fireworks that we've been having. We just got done talking to the chief about the legal part of
Right.
it. So tell us about some of the problems that you guys have experienced with the risk of fire and medical emergencies.
Certainly. The first thing, anytime you're dealing with fireworks and pyrotechnics, is going to be the fire aspect. A lot of times when you have fireworks, especially those that come from less than reputable outlets or homemade fireworks, you have incomplete combustion. When the fireworks explode, you have hot embers. If you have a dry environment, dry grass, leaves, or dry wood, and these embers fall into those areas, it can start a fire. We've had instances where we've had embers that have fallen onto roofs of homes and caused small roof fires. Right. So that's going to be the primary concern with the fireworks and the pyrotechnics, is going to be the fire aspect, especially if it's a dry situation, dry area. And July in St. Louis, as you well know, can get really, really dry. So that's the primary concern. Secondarily, you have to worry about medical issues. You're talking about an explosive device that can cause any type of injuries, ranging from flash burns to explosive amputations. For those of you that are football fans, Jason Pierre-Paul played for the New York Giants, had an accident last year where he blew a couple of his fingers off his hand with fireworks. Right. So that's a significant injury right there that affected that man's career. You also have, we talked about the flash burns. If you have a situation where you're trying to light a firework and it goes off suddenly without your having time to get away, flash burns to the face. If you're breathing, you can inhale some of that superheated gas, get an inhalation injury. And then finally, if you're close to a firework when it explodes, you could have injury to your eardrums. The shock wave can cause hearing loss or injuries to your ears that can be permanent. So there's a wide variety of issues when you're dealing with fireworks. We talked about the fire aspect. Certainly burns are possible as well. If you have a situation where you have a fire as a result of a firework, you can have associated burns if you're trying to put it out, or with that explosive injury you mentioned just a few minutes ago.
Right, and I mean, we always hear this time of year all across St. Louis, you know, there's reports of burns and people, fires being started, right, things like that. Anything specific that you can remember in the past that?
The only thing that really comes to mind is we usually have small fires.
Okay.
That's the most important. We've been fortunate in the area that we've not had any of the injuries, the explosive amputations that I discussed, the inhalation burns, the flash burns, or any type of other explosive-induced injury, hearing loss. None of those come to mind, so we've been very fortunate. But we've had a couple small fires. I mentioned the roof fire. We had one a couple years ago as a result of fireworks, the embers that we mentioned falling on the roof and then starting a small fire. So those have been the issues that we've encountered at the Fire Protection District, or mainly the small fires. Fortunately, the medical instances have been kept to a minimum.
That's good. That's good, and we want to keep it that way. That's why we're trying to get the word out to let everybody leave it to the professionals. You know, don't buy the fireworks. They are illegal in Florissant to possess, to discharge, and sell as well. Right. So, all right. Well, Mark, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your input as always. And if you have anything you want to say to the audience about the fireworks?
No, just like Craig said, leave it to the professionals. They're trained to do this. They have all the most high-tech equipment. So they're the ones that should be handling the fireworks, and just go out, watch them, and have a great time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be right back with the April crime statistics.
It's an everyday thing. Honey, what happened at school today? I don't know. No, don't accept that. Yeah, it's a little pushy. I know some parents who are pushy. They love their kids. When you say, I want to be their friend, don't be their friend. Be their parent. Be their parent. You're the only parents they got. They got plenty of friends. You're the only parents they got.
Welcome back to the show. We're now going to go over the April 2016 crime statistics. There were 12 burglaries in the month of April. They were reported at the following locations. On April 2nd, in the 1100 block of North Highway 67, which was a commercial burglary. On April 7th, in the 1000 block of Meadowlark. On April 13th, in the 700 block of Charville. On April 14th, in the 2100 block of Flight. On April 18th, in the 2100 block of Kevin. On April 19th, in the 800 block of Lexington. On April 20th, in the 400 block of South Jefferson. On April 22nd, in the 1600 block of Floridon. On April 26th, in the first block of Allendale Court. Also on April 26th, in the 1200 block of Carmona. On April 29th, in the 2200 block of Floridon. And finally, on April 29th, on the 1800 block of Laven. There were 8 motor vehicle thefts in the month of April. They were reported at the following locations. On April 5th, in the 1100 block of St. Mark. On April 11th, in the first block of Alpha. On April 23rd, in the 1600 block of Bay Meadows. Also on April 23rd, in the 100 block of Dubourg. On April 24th, in the 3300 block of Cross Keys. Also on April 24th, in the 1300 block of Dunn Road. On April 27th, in the 2300 block of Sunset Park Drive. And on April 28th, in the 600 block of St. Brendan. There were 85 stealings in the month of April, and they are broken down into the following categories. There were 36 shopliftings, 8 stealings from a motor vehicle, 8 stealings of motor vehicle parts, 1 bicycle was stolen, 5 stealings from a building, and 28 miscellaneous stealings. There were 14 property damages in the month of April reported to the Florissant Police Department. All right, so that concludes the crime statistics. Now I'd like to go over some vacation tips for when you're leaving your home during the summer vacations. I'd like to just go over a few of those tips that you can do to help keep your property safe while you're gone. The first tip is don't talk about it. Be cautious who you tell people. Be cautious who you tell about your trip. It's okay to tell a neighbor that you trust, but be careful about letting your whole neighborhood know that you're gone. Another useful tip is to use timers on interior lights. Have them come on in the evening time. You can have a television come on or a radio come on to make sure that people think that you're home, or strangers think that you're home and that's your normal routine. Of course, lock up your house, all your exterior doors and windows before leaving to make sure that nobody can get in. Remember to get your mail stopped by the Postal Service. It's a matter of going and either letting the Postal Service know by making a trip to the Postal Service, or they also have a website that you can go on, USPS.com, and get your mail held while you're gone. Remember the answering machine and email. Don't tip anyone off that you're not home by letting them know, leaving a message that you won't be back for a week or anything like that. Park your car in a driveway. If you have an extra car, leave it in the driveway to look as if someone is home. Leave outdoor exterior lights on. If you have any alarm system, make notifications to your alarm company that you will be gone. And then finally, complete a vacation check form through the City of Florissant. It's a matter of going to www.florissantmo.com/police. There you can click on the Action Center, and click on the vacation form, and you can submit it electronically by email, or you can download the form and bring it up to the police department. There's also forms available at the police department that you can fill out and then submit to our records department. We will check those vacation checks every day for up to 4 weeks while you're gone. So a police officer will stop by and check on your house at least once a day for the time that you're gone, and then report back any suspicious activities, or if they note damage or anything like that. They will call you. If you leave an email or a contact phone number, they will call you and advise you of the damage, and then we can take further action if a door is insecure or something like that. So please don't forget to take advantage of that service offered by the police department. That wraps up this edition of FPD Roll Call. Remember that the police department is on social media. We have a Facebook page, we're on Twitter, we have a YouTube channel. Also, if you see anything suspicious, please call 911 or our non-emergency number at 314-831-7000. There's also information available on our website at www.florescentmo.com/police. I'm Officer Craig Dehart with the Florissant Police Department, and thanks again for watching.